morning.
Good morning.
Love doing that. It's great. I am Sarah Generes, and I'd like to share with you all my faith story and how my family has grown in love at Christ Church. My two girls and I came to Christ Church more than 10 years ago. After a very challenging divorce, I suddenly found myself church shopping. Throughout my divorce, I had a deep sense that no matter how hard it was in the moment, God needed me to live through that experience to become who I was meant to be. And so I pushed through, often relying solely on my faith. I'm a cradle Episcopalian, third generation, and my formative years were spent attending Episcopal church camps, participating in crop walks, and organizing caroling parties for church shut-ins with the other teens in our church choir. I wanted my kids to have those similar experiences and to know the constancy of a church family. When I was looking for a new parish home, Christ Church was the first parish I visited, and after that visit, I never left. In Christ Church, I found all the things that I wanted and needed in a church home. A strong church school program for my girls and a community of kids with whom they could grow up, a phenomenal music program for youth and adults, and many opportunities for my girls and I to be the light of Christ in the world through outreach. My girls have grown up in this church, and it has meant so much to me that the church has made space for them every step of the way. When Lily expressed an interest in ushering at the tender age of 6, Robin Anstead, God bless her, welcomed her and mentored her, serving with her weekly for the better part of a year. Never in the history of Christ Church has there been such an enthusiastic usher. Ever. Melissa Durbin saw Maddie's gift as a toddler whisperer and suggested that she help in Sunday school. Suddenly, rather than weekly battles with a teenager who didn't want to come to church, our car rides home were filled with stories about what her kids did that day in Sunday school. When Maddie developed an interest in technical theater, inspired in part by one of our older youth choristers, Richard suggested she might want to help with the live streams, and now she comes to extra services when her help is needed. My kids have grown in love at Christ Church in every way possible. They have a place away from the pressures of being a teenager today where they can be their best selves and where they can feel seen and respected for who they are. I have grown in love here as well, through a phrase in a sermon that spins in my brain for days after, through an anthem that brings me literally to tears because it speaks directly to my heart, through the moments spent side by side with my church family, packing meals and wrapping gifts to send out into the world to those who need the light of Christ in their own lives. But the most powerful growth has been how my girls and I have grown in love together at this parish, which has given us a place to pray, to sing, to serve, to share, and to grow side by side. All of this is why I give to Christ Church. So some of you may know that I do this fundraising thing professionally. I spend my days helping donors to see the ways in which their financial support can make a difference in the organizations that I represent. Those gifts, which are, of course, generous and impactful, are two-sided. They're a transaction of support between the donor and the organization. Your support of Christ Church is different because there's another entity involved, God. I give to Christ Church because God has blessed me through this community. I give to sustain and to grow this community so that others can experience God's love through Christ Church. I give to give back to God through Christ Church in gratitude for all that God has given to me. I hope you will all join me in giving generously this year. I know there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. I know that there are a lot of organizations asking for you to give them a portion of what God has given to you. But I hope that you will give generously to Christ Church so that our church and our community can continue to grow in love. Thank you.